They've only gone and done it. Aston Villa won at Newcastle United for the first time since 2005. They had such a bad time of it for so long at St James's Park, but they finally got that win. It's really big 3 points for Unai Emery's side, and it caps off what's been a week that, frankly, I don't think anyone really expected. Speaking to lots of different fans in Istanbul, was along the same sort of feelings as you know. Let's see what happens this week. Maybe a bit of a free hit at Newcastle. Villa, of course, struggling here for so many years, and successful years as well under Unai Emery in terms of campaigns. But they'd lose here 5-1 or 3-0. Bit of a write-off. Fenerbahce itself, you know, going there with the context of no John McGinn, no Boubacar Kamara. I mean, other players injured as well, but those two midfielders in particular, you know, Kamara out for the season, and then McGinn just in the early stages really of the first half against Everton comes off with a knee injury of his own, and that was it took the life out of Villa Park a little bit. And to go to Fenerbahce and show character there was one thing. To do it against Newcastle was another, and it's one of the better performances I think I've seen this Villa side put in under Unai. And believe you and me, there's a lot to go off. So, fantastic evening on Tyneside. I'm buzzing about it, to be honest. I'm sure you can tell. I'll talk about. Actually, I'll just do now. So, John McGinn, some injury updates for you. John McGinn, 1 to 2 months, essentially 6 weeks. Around March time, that's when he's expected to be back. And Yuri Tielemans has picked up an ankle injury today as well. But there's little that can sort of wipe the smile off my face, and I'm sure for Villa fans as well. To win here is it's almost like you've just how do I put it? It's just a bonus 3 points that Villa don't get in a season. So terrific. I guess in some ways you can look back to the Everton match last weekend, and you can take 3 points from today and put it there, and you know what I'm trying to say. Villa have made up for that result, but I'd almost rather lose to Everton at home and win here just to get that monkey off your back. And as I say, winning at St James's Park is not something that Aston Villa have done. It's a very loud monster can. 21 years now? Nearly 21 years? Oh, it was nearly 21 years. But it was Emery Buendia's, another stunning strike for Emery Buendia this season. His strike gave Villa the lead, and then Ollie Watkins in the 88th, doubling Villa's advantage and essentially ending the game there, even if there was 8 minutes of added time. Obviously confidence that Villa would see the job through, and they did. A clean sheet as well is a major bonus too, considering Newcastle, not only have they been free scoring against Villa in previous games, but in general at St James's Park, they score goals to Newcastle, and the vast majority of their points are at home. Sorry, the vast majority of the points that they've won have come at home. Away from home, I think it's pretty well documented their struggles. So maybe like two different teams, I suppose. If you're a Newcastle fan, that's probably how you feel. But Villa have come here today and really shown something. And Ollie Watkins after the game spoke about how Unai got the game plan spot on. Definitely agree there. Ollie thought that Newcastle were maybe a little bit surprised by how Villa played. And I mean, let's be real, Villa had to do something different, because whenever they come here, they're on the end of a thrashing, and last season they were down to 10 men, so that can happen. But it's still the same thing mentally going into this game. You know, you fear the worst, don't you? And as I said from the top, it's almost a bit of a write-off, this match, which is always a shame, especially because it's so long away to come so far. I must say, I thought the Villa fans up in the gods were sensational today, and it's hard to. I mean, it was very hard to hear them at the Fenerbahce stadium, and whenever Villa fans were heard, quickly the Fenerbahce anthem, I suppose, was blared out on the speakers, so no one could hear a thing of the travelling support before the game and after the game. Fenerbahce wanted none of it. Anyway, today, obviously different circumstance. It's always going to be loud and proud here at St James's, but yeah, I just thought of Villa, the travelling Villa supporters, I think they'd be forgiven, for expecting, as I say, to lose this game or to not come away with a win. But there was almost like a confidence sort of exuding from the away end today, I thought, and I do think that sort of went into the players as well. And across the game, again, I don't think there was really a moment where you feared too much. Of course, Newcastle are going to get their moments and their chances, and they did. Emery Martinez making 2 top-class saves, and how good was he today, by the way? And Townley's chance, of course, in the first minute. That was almost... last season, it was the 2nd minute, I think, that Villa conceded. The season before that was a 6th. Townley scoring, I think, on his home debut in that 5-1 game, if I'm not mistaken. And you're thinking, well, if Villa can, keep it tight early on, and then goes Townley, beaten 1, beaten 2, beaten 3, and then Martinez makes a really good save. That was 36 seconds in. So from the outset, you're a bit worried. But Villa grew in the game really quickly, and Buendia forced a save from Pope. There was nothing that Pope could do about Buendia's second effort looping over him. As soon as he hit it, you thought, hello, like that's got some potential. And then it nestled in the back of the net, and you're thinking, all right, well, Villa are ahead here. I don't know the last time that Villa went ahead at Newcastle. I mean, actually, it might have been Ollie Watkins' header lockdown season. I think relatively late goal. Then was it Lascelles that equalised? I mean, both clubs are in very different times now, of course. I'm trying to figure out where I'm walking across the stadium, and of course I'm lost. But now, fast forward to where we are now. This is a battle of two sides who want to be in the Champions League season after season, and I'm not going to talk about the title because I never have and never don't believe in it really until sort of April time, springtime, when the white ball comes back out and we're not using the yellow ball anymore. That's sort of my time to look at the table properly and think, okay, well, what can they do? We all know that Villa are in a fantastic position for Champions League. The title for me is just another sort of step forward at the moment, and it's too early to do that. And Emery asked, of course, after the game, what does he mean by you're not contenders? And what do you mean by your team not being contenders? And can you compete with Arsenal? And Emery said, well, no one asked me after we lost to Everton. And he's bang on. It's sort of a narrative that's brought up after every game that Villa win that maybe they're not expected to, or maybe they put out another statement. For me, they're just statements to sort of cement themselves in the Champions League, and maybe they can be the best of the rest. Who knows? Or maybe they'll compete for the league. Let's find out. It's all at the moment pretty cyclical. Emery, and I agree with this, also said that some people were saying, oh, maybe you get relegated after. Well, he said losing the first 5 games of the season, and it felt like that. Of course, it wasn't. Villa drew to Newcastle on the opening day, and obviously got whoa, it's windy. Obviously, got a point out of Sunderland and Everton, which on the face of it aren't bad results, and those points here, like 3 points out of Newcastle, Everton, and Sunderland. That's 3 points more than what Villa would have had otherwise. So, no one's denying that they've had a super sort of last 4 months or so, is it now? They had a bit of a wobble, didn't they, a few games ago? Well, so a few games bunched up, they had a wobble. But I think they've, you'd say they've come through that now, haven't you? Having beaten Fenerbahce away and Newcastle away. I mean, it's just stuff that Villa don't win it. Today they have, and that's a huge. I don't know. I just think mentally it's a massive step forward. Villa have beaten everyone but Liverpool, I think, under Unai Emery. I think that's right. I don't think Villa have beaten Liverpool yet. I mean, they could have the chance to do that in the final home game this season, of course. Villa had obviously beaten Newcastle, but not here, not for a long time. So it's a major win. And across the team, there was. I don't think you can beat Newcastle 2-0 away from home. Whoever you are, whether you've won here 4 times in a row or not at all, I don't think you can carry players, for example. Villa certainly didn't carry anyone today, and were full value, I thought, for their lead at half-time, full value for the win over the course. Eddie Howe said it was kind of on fine margins. Ollie saying that we could have won by more. Whichever sort of camp you're in there, a 2-0 scoreline, no one, as I said, wins here without conceding a goal if you don't deserve it. So Villa full value for me. I'll start with Watkins actually. He has a decent chance early on. Sancho knocks him through. I think Malik Chow puts in a slide tackle, and in the end was that touch almost pushed it forward for Watkins, didn't it? And then I don't know if he's trying to drag it across goal or not, but ideally that's where the ball would have gone in the far corner, but instead it goes. It's pretty central for Pope, probably helps him out a little bit. Pope makes you have to say a good save. But then, when Buendia scores, we can talk about the strike, and I have done, but it's the move for me it's such a nice sweeping move that goes not necessarily back to front, but it's finding the right players in the right positions with crisp, accurate passing, movement off the ball. Then Rodgers, a nice weighted ball to Buendia to steady himself, and then score his latest stunning goal for the club this season. And Emery spoke really highly of him after the game, saying that his commitment to Villa is massive, and we've heard that before. But what I liked was he said he has, I don't know if this is going to be word for word, but he has wishes of me to be proud of him, and I am. Essentially saying Buendia wants me to feel proud of him, and I am proud of him. Don't think I needed to explain that one really, but I did, and I liked it. It's nice. Of course, Buendia could have left in the summer, even up to the deadline. There was a strong chance of him going. Didn't happen, and he's more than paid. I'd say paid Villa back. That's probably the wrong phrase, but it's more than earning a space in this team is what I'm trying to say. He's outperformed, I think, what we all expected him to, and he's having the best season in his career for me. We can talk about playing well in Norwich in the Championship before Villa signed him. This is a whole other level. As we know, Villa have come from one level to another. Now they're winning at Newcastle side that don't lose many home games. I think this is the first defeat Newcastle in the league since September 2025. Arsenal beat them, so this is a proper victory, and kind of going from front to back to front. Sorry, Martinez, spoken about him already. Top performance, probably his best of the season. There's a couple to choose from. I mean, against Bournemouth, he was excellent as well, but today probably peaks quite a few of his performances of late. To be fair, Cash I thought was excellent at right back. Matson as well at left back. Cash having quite a few Villa players had an involvement in that first goal, didn't they? But particularly those full-backs I thought were outstanding today. Centre-backs, Pau Torres came in a left centre-half, and of course partnered Konsa. Mings came on in the second half just to shore things up, and did so. Again, top performances from them. You're going to have a warning sign from Townley, but it's how do you respond to that? And I don't think between them they let much go past them. Wissa obviously starting the game. Gordon on the left is tricky, he's quick, and Barnes as well has a goal in him he has a goal in him, full stop, but also when he plays Villa, he's got a few goals in him. And in midfield, it was Tielemans and Onana. I was a little bit surprised that Bogard didn't start today, actually. I thought maybe Emery would pick a bit more security with Bogard and then pushing Tielemans forward, but it was Sancho that started on the right. Tielemans is a top operator, isn't he? There's a lot we can say about him, but not from week to week. He's such a consistent player, and his awareness is above a level of most of his opponents. And where the press box is in St James's Park, to have the nice view over the pitch, and it's quite close. You can sort of hear every pass, and everything that the players are saying, shouting if they are. But just to see Tielemans up close like that, fantastic footballer, and I can appreciate a player like Townley as well. When I first saw him play in this press box, that's a real player. Tielemans, I think, since then when he played his first few games for Villa to now, again, it looks like a completely different player. But we knew that already from some months ago, even last season, right? He's completely. I think helped change that midfield. Villa have improved considerably, I think, even from 2 years ago when they finished 4th as a team. From Luiz to Tielemans. I said I'm not going to talk about it, and I am now. But yeah, where you don't expect them to improve, they have, and I hope that they continue to as well, even though that might seem so difficult right now with restrictions. Free transfer, of course, which is crazy. Onana was excellent again, had a real task against Joe Linton. Physical battle, but Onana came out on top, I think, for most in most of those duels. And Joe Linton, of course, comes off later in the game. Sancho, of course, started. A bit surprised, and nothing against him at all, because he was superb, I thought, against Fenerbahce. He was afforded lots of space, but made most of the opportunity and won the game for Villa. And today, in what was a bit of a sort of difficult atmosphere, intense game, I thought he did really well, and definitely played his part in today's win as well, which is good to see, because you need a confident Sancho who has ability. We all know that. It's about putting it all together, and I really liked what I saw from him today. Rodgers, again, similar to Tielemans. I'm not going to talk too much about him. We know what he gives us, and he continues to perform. And an assist for Buendia, even though nice sweeping move from Villarreal, top finish from Buendia. Rodgers will take that all day long. And what a pass that was to Luca Dean for the second goal. The ball comes out from a set play, I think, or Villa recycle it anyway. Rodgers could have played an easy pass there. 1-0 up, 88 minutes or so, leading against Newcastle. But no, it's a nice switch across the park, and Luca Dean puts the ball into a great position for Ollie Watkins to score. And every time Watkins scores, it feels even better, because you need your striker to be scoring goals for confidence. And hey, Tammy Abraham's just signed. Watkins has put in for me a really good performance today. His off the ball running and his pressing, the commitment that he has from a defensive point of view, it's something that I think is so easy to overlook. But please don't, because it's something that Villa would absolutely miss if they didn't have it in Ollie. The amount of times that he picks up the ball in positions to attack the goal, and maybe it's not always the right choice, so it's not quite the right quality that Watkins we know can provide in certain areas, but getting those opportunities in the first place is worth something alone. Tammy coming in, there was chance of Tammy Abraham from Villa supporters in the first half, I think, and he'll be, of course, coming in and adding more firepower to that Villa squad, which will look stronger after that, and stronger again in the coming weeks after McGinn comes back. We'll have to see about Tielemans. Emery saying he simply doesn't know. He's going to have tests, which is normal procedure, of course, but a shame to lose him for any period of time, because Villa are obviously so light at the moment on options. But I don't want to be talking negatively. This just feels like a win that's, as I say, like almost like not 3 points, but it's just how do I put it? You don't come here and win, so it just feels like a, don't mean this as you play Brentford and it doesn't matter. It's not that at all, but it's just another step forward. And if you have to lose players for injury if you have to lose players through injury but win the game, so be it. It's a results business, and Villa at this stage of a season, all of a sudden you can start ticking down those wins. I remember talking outside the London Stadium when Villa beat West Ham, and I said, 8-9 more wins for Villa. You can start ticking them off. I do think that in February, if Villa can continue to win some games, they're going to be in a really strong position. I'm going to quickly get my phone up to talk you through that. I love to look forward, don't I? Click off now if you don't want to hear it. But let's go through some games. So, I mentioned that after Newcastle, Villa play 5 of the next 6 at home, including Newcastle in the Cup. Of course, it's Bournemouth away after the next home game against Brentford. But Villa's home games in the league: Brentford, Brighton, Leeds, before they then play Chelsea. And that Chelsea match is the 4th of March. Potentially, you'll have McGinn back for that one. Let's wait and see. If so, that'll be obviously a game that you'll want him. I mean, you want him back as soon as you can. But I'm trying to say, if you're looking to get some wins under their belt before that game, they will then still have a gap between themselves and Chelsea. And like today, almost push them away a little bit. I mean, Newcastle are 13 points behind Villa now, I think. When Villa play Chelsea, they have a chance to go say a number, 8 points, 9 points, 12 points, I don't know, ahead of them, then that'll be some atmosphere when at Villa Park for that midweek game against Liam. Well, at the moment, Liam Rossini's side, I presume, will stay. I mean, to be fair, he's made a decent start, hasn't he? He's won against Palace today, which, as Villa fans, we know that isn't easy, but maybe that's just Villa. Palace are in a bad way at the moment. So yeah, that's where I'm going to kind of leave it, I suppose. A fantastic win. I don't really want to be looking towards anything else in terms of injuries or even transfers. Or I just want to enjoy the win. It's been so long. I don't remember, literally, in my lifetime beating Newcastle. I was 5 years old when Lee Bowyer and Kieran Dyer had a scrap here. And what Gareth Barry scored, was it 2 pens and 1 Pablo Engel as well? I don't remember the game, so I've never seen this before. I just want to enjoy it. But we can talk about other bits and bobs on Claret and Blue, as we always do. Q&A. There's a post-match that will be out tonight, or if not, it's already out, with Dan and I think Neil from Liverpool McGraw podcast. Q&A on Monday, and then we'll look forward to Salzburg, where we'll have the chance to finish in the top 2 of the Europa League. Another big opportunity. Well, that one to win a trophy. Who knows, the Premier League, maybe. I'm not going to say it, but make your own sort of minds up on that. And then we're going into Brentford, which, difficult game. Yes, they lost at home to Forest, but it's the Premier League and no game is easy, especially if you're going to be losing players through injury. So we'll see where Villa are in the coming days in terms of numbers, in terms of assessments from injuries. McGinn will continue to be assessed, but it's likely that it will be 1 to 2 months, as I said earlier. Tielemans, hopefully, won't be anything serious, crossing everything there, because all of a sudden Villa are light. Hopefully Ross Barkley can return to training this week. And then, as I say, tick off the games. Next week against Salzburg and Brentford 2 at home. If Villa can make that 4 wins out of 4, tremendous. And then, of course, you're finishing the window on the Monday after playing Brentford. So that's all from me. Safe travels back to everyone who was here at St James's today. And we'll speak soon.